Hi, everybody. Alan Arnett here with another podcast and the blog on alanarnett.com. It is Wednesday, July 3rd, almost Independence Day here in the U.S., 2025. So this is going to be a pretty short podcast, though I really don't have a lot of solid information to report on K2. I have been communicating with Ryan Mitchell, and I think that's what everybody is wondering what's going on with Ryan. He is safely at K2 base camp. He did have some GI issues on the trek in across the Valtero. That is very, very common. He laughed at himself and he said that he made it kind of a tough last 6 hours to get to base camp, but he's there with the Madison Mountaineering team. Tyree Sylvester is the lead guide. This year, Garrett Madison stayed home because he had just come off of Denali, did a week summit. He summited Denali in 1 week, which was incredible. They were able to, thread the needle on the window on Denali, whereas this year has been a horrible year. Very cold, very windy, very low summit rates. I just spoke with one of my summit coach clients who only got to Camp 2 on Denali, and they got skunked because of the weather. So, it's a tough year climbing this year. On Annapurna in the spring, we saw that there was no snow down lower on the mountain between base camp and Camp 1. Ming Majee said he'll never climb Annapurna again because he feels it's become too dangerous. And then over on Broad Peak, my friend Ryan Kushner, not the young Ryan, he's on Broad Peak, and he told me that there's also no snow between base camp and Camp 1, which is unbelievable because when I was there, there was so much snow that there were deep, deep crevasses. And now that they were worried over on Broad Peak about K2, and Ryan just confirmed that they're all very concerned about rockfall on the Abruzzi route on K2. That's the route that 98% of the people take on K2. So we'll have to wait and see, what it looks like when we get the reports back from them. The other thing that's going on this year across Pakistan is that the communications is really, really off. None of the major companies like Seven Summits Treks or AK Expeditions are really posting and sending information like they used to. I don't know if that's a problem with the cell phone signals or satellite signals in that area. We know that that's adjacent to the Kashmir, the disputed territories between Pakistan and India. And I don't know if there's some type of a military ban, but be it as may, I'm getting all of my information from both Ryans through their InReach that uses the Iridium satellite network. So again, just to stay on Ryan here, he says a very dry winter, bad rockfall on K2 now. So we'll acclimatize on an unclimbed peak nearby. And then they hope to get some snowfall to make the Abruzzi more stable over the next couple of weeks, feeling a lot better. So young Ryan's doing well. All that training that he paid off is paying off for him, mainly in the terms of patience. And that's what it takes to climb these big mountains. There were some other summits in the Karakoram over on Nanga Parbat. The rope fixers have summited, and now there's a few people with Seven Summits Treks that are hopefully going to summit in the next couple of days. And also, a German climber, very, very talented, very highly skilled German climber, David Gottler. He summited by a very rarely climbed route on the on the Rupel flank, almost 7,000 meters between the Manzo Ridge and the Southwest Ridge. Anyway, that route is very difficult. Very few people have summited it, and David has tried it. This was his fifth attempt, and he summited it. And then he was with two other people. I believe they skied down, and he actually paraglided down from a lower altitude, but also it was very windy. It was actually unusually warm. So the weather across the Himalayas, across the world, is really changing the way that we climb these mountains. We've got warmer than normal temperatures. We've got less snow than normal. We've got more rockfall. Some routes are actually closed because you can't climb them anymore. They're actually just too dangerous. So we may be entering a whole new age in mountaineering where what I always called the formula climb, where guides would take the same route and do exactly the same thing year in, year out. that may not be an option. So they may have to do some scouting. And as we saw in Everest this year, the drones were widely used to help find the route through the Khumbu icefall. So it may become standard to take a drone and evaluate the mountain for base camp before you step foot on the mountain. My, how times have changed. Okay, this is it for this one. I'll keep you updated with more updates as I get them. But also, please remember that I post more frequently than I do YouTube videos on my blog at alanarnett.com/blog. Climb on. This is Alan. And remember, memories are everything.
The podcast on alanarnett.com is sponsored by Summit Coach, helping aspiring climbers worldwide to reach their dreams.